Welcome to the Besties in the Books podcast bonus series, guys. I'm Liz.
And I'm Ashley. And as she said, bonus series number 3. Here it is, the third installment of our Harry Potter first time read as adults. Book number 3 is Prisoner of Azkaban. And guys, we're here every Friday with these little mini episodes. We kind of keep it a mini. I think last week I kept it like under 35 minutes. Yeah. So hey,
for us that's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be giving you guys all of our thoughts on Harry Potter, like Ashley said, in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Just to remind you, this is our first time reading it. So all these reactions that we're having to it, Ashley and I haven't even talked about it at all. So like we're just getting into it. I have no idea what she thought about it. She doesn't know what I thought about it. So it's all new and exciting, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So similarly to our other episodes that we release on Tuesdays, we will have a spoiler-free section in the beginning just to give you guys our basic star review. That's generally probably only going to be about 5 minutes or so in these mini episodes, so we will have the spoiler noise to let you know that we will be moving into the spoiler section. fan favorite spoiler noise that Ashley will make to let you know, just in case you haven't read it or you're reading along with us and you haven't quite finished book 3 yet. And just like we've been doing with these mini episodes, if you've been following along, we're going to go ahead and just, kick it off with our basic star review, get into the entire plot in 5 sentences or less.
My favorite part is Liz having to try to condense this book into 5 sentences or less.
This one was definitely, it's only going to get harder from here.
Yeah. I was imagining, I'm like, this is going to be, this is going to be tricky, so stay tuned, guys.
I mean,
see if she can do it.
You know, it's
she gets a treasure box.
Yes.
Right?
Or
and the treasure box is the trash.
Exactly. I either get a treasure or I get to go into the trash can.
Yeah. So, you know, we don't make the rules, so it is what it is.
But yeah, no, it's, I mean, you know, in journalism school, they tell you put the most important things at the top of the article so that you could literally just chop off the ends. Yeah. I tried my best to do that, but there's still a lot of run-on sentences. So stick around if that interests you. And then we are going to kind of just go over some basic questions, you know, how the book made us feel, if we think that it should have been banned. And then we'll end with our fun Harry Potter fact of the day. But before we get into all of that, we just want to say thank you so much for being here.
You guys, thank you so much for being here and for your love and support on these bonus episodes. If you didn't know, we film our podcasts go up every Tuesday for our normal format, our long format, an hour or so. Lately, we've been quite chatty. So you can check out those videos too if you are new to us. If Harry Potter is like the first thing you're stumbling upon, hey, what's up? Welcome. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcast. We are a book podcast, obviously, Besties in the Books, but we do like to talk about life things that are going on with our weekly faves and fails and unhinged smasher passes, which is just media in general, basically.
Millennial media. Mostly.
Specifically, mostly, And, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok at Besties in the Books podcast. You can join us on Fable for these reads where we have all these books up. So if you want to jump on in, these books do little recaps we've noticed at the beginning. So if one of them was your favorite, but you're like, oh, I don't really want to go and read the first 3, but you want to jump in on 4 next week, you could do that because she does a little recap in each book, I've noticed. So, because it's made for, you know, 5th graders, so you know, it's easy on the brain. So you can jump in at any point. The water's warm. So find us there, guys. We love it. Thank you so much.
So let's just get into it. Our spoiler free, just quick 1-sentence star review of Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban, book 3. Okay. All right, I'm going first.
Let's hear it.
I plan out meticulously, guys, the 5-sentence. I do not plan this out at all.
Yeah.
Okay, I gave this book 3 stars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Just to recap, I did give book 1 and 2 both 4 stars. So this is my lowest rating so far.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it disappointed me.
Okay.
Yeah. Therefore,
you probably
3
can't
stars.
say why yet, right? It'd be spoilery.
I mean, if I were to include any little reason why, it would just be because I didn't find that it had the twists and turns or unexpected things that, I would have appreciated more.
Interesting.
It's too predictable, I think.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, so what do you think? What did you give it? Whoa. I almost forgot.
Whoa, hey.
What would I have rated it as a child, as a kid?
Oh, sorry, yes.
I almost forgot. Yeah. I probably would have rated it a 4-star. So I think I would have still rated it better than I rated it now, but still not a 5-star. I feel like I would have had similar issues with it when I was a kid. I was a very critical child.
Yeah.
Not really, but I think that's how it would be. Okay, so anyways, tell us yours.
Okay. So I went ahead and rated it 4 stars. Mm-hmm. And for me, the only thing that didn't give it a 5 stars was it was just very chaotic. And that always kind of takes me out of the book if I'm having to, like, stop too many times and be like, wait, what's happening? Because there's so many different, like, things happening that you kind of have to keep track of, which I don't mind, but it just felt chaotic. Mm-hmm. And, you know.
I could see that.
Yeah, I don't want to get any spoilers away, but yeah. So there's that. If I was a kid, honestly, trying to think of if I was a kid at the time that I was a kid who was like we weren't allowed to read Harry Potter. Okay. So taking into the context. And I also was kind of like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to read it. Oh no, spooky, scary. And we'll talk about all the divination stuff. I might have given it 3 stars, feeling guilty and nervous because there's a lot more magic involved and fortune telling and divination that maybe it would have freaked me out more and maybe I wouldn't have liked that. And then also just like the chaoticness that is the story. So maybe I would have been more critical of it and been, on that end and given it 3 stars.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I didn't think about that. Yeah, for sure.
It just came to me right now. I'm like, I probably would have been more critical as my parents would have been. Because, you're following kind of like their train of thought and thinking as a child. So, yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
There we go. But I have 4 stars. I liked it mostly. It was pretty good.
Good. Okay. All right. So, at this point, we're going to get into our spoiler section, which will start off with our 5-sentence summary. So, spoiler section's coming.
Okay. All right. Well, and by the way, I am reading these along with my daughter, but from here on out, it's safe to say her reviews won't be applying unless we suddenly catch up because I'm starting to slow down because I'm noticing the context is getting heavier. So I'm not trying to rush her through the books anymore. Yeah. So the first book, she gave her review. The second book, I think I had her review up until that point, like whatever, we're like a third of the way through together. But we are watching the movies now as we finish the books, and she's loving the first movie. We're only halfway through that because that was 3 hours. So
crazy. I need to rewatch them. I haven't watched them since. Yeah. I actually Googled it and I saw that Gary Oldman plays Sirius Black. Am I right about that?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I didn't even know that. I'm like, what a treat these movies are going to be for me.
And he did such a great job. That's the only, one I remember. So I was like, when we watched these movies a few years ago with my friend Courtney, I kept falling asleep. So most of this book I didn't remember. So it was great because I was like, oh man, after the first book, I was like, I'm going to know some of this stuff. And I'm like, no, I have no idea what's going on. All the movies are blending together. I have no idea what's happening. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. See, he does a great job as Sirius Black. Yeah, he does.
I know nothing about it, so I'm just excited to go back and rewatch them or watch. Yeah. Technically they are rewatches because I did watch them when they came out originally, but that was so long ago I remember nothing.
Yeah. I
just love that though because I'm like, obviously high school me or middle school me would have not appreciated Gary Oldman. Yet here we are, 36-year-old me appreciates Gary Oldman. So here.
What a chameleon he is, too.
What a chameleon.
Yeah. He has the essence. He's got the juice.
He's got the
juice. That corn kid. Literally corn. The kid has got the juice. It's corn. It's Gary Oldman.
I've loved him ever since he, starred in Sid and Nancy. Like that.
Yeah.
That's iconic. Okay. Yeah. So.
He's great.
Should we get into the spoiler section? Are you going to do your little noise?
Let's do it. One for the crows. It's been a while. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. Time is just a jumbled ball of weirdness now.
It is. It totally is.
Get out of here. Spoilers up and coming if you don't want to be spoiled on a book that's been out for 20 years now.
Yeah. I appreciate it because as someone who hasn't read these, I wouldn't have wanted spoilers. I'm notoriously good at I say it's avoiding spoilers, but it's not. It's like seeing spoilers and immediately pushing them from my mind and forgetting them immediately. So that it's like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, and let's be honest, unless you're going and picking this up tomorrow, you know, it's going into the TBR stack on most books that we're talking about, and who knows when we get to it, and who knows what we remember? Nothing. So most books are blind for me.
Yeah.
Like, something captivated me enough to buy this. Let's see what it's about.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much where I'm at with it too. But just in case you don't want any spoilers, here we go.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
There
it's
we
happening.
go. Okay.
5-sentence
All
summary.
right, we're going to get the counter on the screen now. All right? Let's go.
This is
5 sentences or less, Liz.
And
let's do it.
Here's the thing. There are a lot. Okay, they are sentences. Are they good? They're grammatically correct. However, are they run on, etc.? Yes, they are. So don't judge it. It is what it is. I did the best I could with what I had to work with. This book was very chaotic. Okay, all right.
Maybe trash day.
Trash day.
Where's the beep, beep, beep? Trash truck's coming. Get you. Pull you out of your book room. Crane. Oh, terrifying.
You guys just hear like the dumpster noise. We need a dumpster noise that we could insert if I do a bad job. Okay. All right, here we go. 5-sentence summary
Catch
of
me
Harry
outside
Potter.
recording tomorrow. The trash truck coming by. Sorry.
No,
go ahead.
it's perfect. It's
now,
perfect.
okay. Ready, go.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay. After another terrible summer with the Dursleys, Harry ends up summoning the night bus by accident after seeing a scary dog-like creature to take him to Diagon Alley.
1.
Yeah.
Great sentence.
See, that one wasn't bad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. On the bus...
Don't worry, it gets worse.
Yeah, don't worry, it gets worse. On the bus ride, he meets Professor Lupin and learns that Sirius Black is a wizard who was Voldemort's second before he lost power. He was confronted by the Ministry of Magic when he cast a curse that killed 13 people, sending him to Azkaban, which he broke out of and is now on the lam.
Okay. 2. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Ding.
All right. Everyone thinks that Sirius Black escaped in order to kill Harry so Voldemort can rise back to power. However, we learn that Black was best friends with Harry's parents and is actually his godfather, and Professor Lupin, who is a werewolf, also knew him, but we still have the Dementors, which are basically like soul-sucking demons, guarding the school, so Harry has to learn how to make a patronus, I don't know how to say that, to scare them away by thinking happy thoughts.
Oh, Patronus.
Patronus?
I'm listening to the audio.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Patronus.
Okay, great. So
yeah.
That's 3.
3.
Little bit run on. However, like I said, it is grammatically correct. Okay.
And the law was going on.
Yeah, a lot was going on. Okay. Hagrid is teaching the magical creatures class, and one of the creatures, Buckbeak, didn't like Draco, so he complained in order to have him executed. They try to stop it, but ultimately he is executed, but Dumbledore helps them time travel in order to save Sirius Black from the Dementor's kiss, because we find out that Voldemort's actual spy is Scabbers the Rat, who is actually Peter Pettigrew, their other friend from school, who has framed Sirius and at the same time save Buckbeak. There's a lot going on
4.
there. Yeah.
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 That was like half the book summed up into one sentence.
Yeah.
So you did the best you could.
I did the best I could. Okay. The plan works because Harry is able to summon his... How do you say that word again? Patronus?
What was the word again? Oh, Patronus. Yeah.
Okay, in the form of his father, the Stag, to scare the Dementors away and ultimately save his godfather, who goes into hiding and rides off into the sunset on Buckbeak. After Gryffindor, of course, wins some Quidditch and the House Cup, and Pettigrew is spared and sent to Azkaban rather than killed. The end.
Yeah. 5.
5.
Ding. All right. You know? I don't think you deserve the trash. You did the best you could. There's some run-on sentences there, but
that was tough.
You did it. You did it.
There was a lot of side quests in this book.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't fit it all. There's just no way.
No, I had to like cut out some things because I was like, there's just no way. Yeah.
It's gonna get so hard.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like as much, I think maybe that's the issue I had with it, is that there was tons of stuff going on, but like nothing that really like captured me that well.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was chaotic for no reason, but that's kind of how I felt at times. Just kind of like, okay, there's all this stuff going on, but nothing that I'm like, ooh, or like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Did it chaotically drag on for you?
It didn't drag on. No.
Oh, that's
It was
good.
just kind of like a smooth, I don't know. It was like a smooth and steady, boat ride that was also very chaotic at the same time. It makes no sense.
So turbulence.
It was like a smooth and steady boat ride with a crazy captain who keeps talking to you about weird stuff. That's how I felt.
Prisoner of Azkaban, ladies and gentlemen. To sum up.
Okay, all right. Let's not get too off track. Okay, so why don't you just start with your favorite part and your least favorite part?
Also, I should say that if we do get too off track, the people are speaking and they are saying you can make this 3 hours long and we'll still listen to it. I do appreciate those comments, you guys. I do. Thank you so much. We're trying to keep it short and sweet. Not only because you guys also only have so much time in the world and you're reading books too and trying to get that done, but we're also editing and trying to get all these done too. So we can only handle so much, but we do appreciate the love and the feedback, and it's great. Okay, so what was my best part?
Yeah, what was
my most favorite
part and least favorite part? Yeah.
My favorite part was probably all the tea leaves and the crazy lady.
Oh,
because she was funny and weird.
That's funny.
And that was probably the time that I was like really tuning in and listening. I loved when Harry, the favorite part of the whole book, or Harry or Ron, I don't remember, one of them was reading the tea leaves and they said, "You're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it."
Yeah, it was
so
like something
classic
like that.
line. I was like, that's the classic meme I've seen all my life, and it's like hearing them or reading it or whatever. It's like inside joke, like you were talking about.
Yeah,
when
like
we
you
first
get
started
the
this
inside
series.
joke.
Like you're in on the inside joke now.
Yeah.
So the crazy lady was the best. Do you want to go to your favorite part now?
Yeah, sure.
remember.
We could do
Okay.
that. Okay, so my favorite part was the talk that Dumbledore has at the end of the book
nice.
with Harry. Yeah, where he's talking about how, Harry's saying, "Oh, well, I didn't kill
Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. I just let him go so that he could go to Azkaban. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's kind of regretful about it. And Dumbledore tells him that's what your dad would have done. And then tells him that basically his manifestation was of his dad's shifter form. I don't know what you would really call it. Where he turned into the stag. That's who he manifests when he was scaring away the Dementors, and I thought that was really cool. I liked that whole conversation. It was a nice way to wrap it up.
Yeah, I liked too that he was there may be a time where you're going to be glad that you let him go. So foreshadowing, I assume that Peter Pettigrew will come in later in the books and probably, be able to do something that Harry is able to get away from Voldemort or something like that. That's my prediction.
It'll come full circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I did like that. I appreciated that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what was your least favorite part?
The beheading of Black Buckbeak. Excuse me.
Dude.
The hippogriff. That was brutal.
I was
they actually
there's
did
no
it.
way. There's no way. I was oh no, it's going to be they heard it, but that didn't actually, they go out front and they're oh, it didn't actually happen or something. No.
Yeah.
Just dead.
No, they beheaded him. Graphic, brutal. I mean, they do time travel and it's, the scapegoat and they save the day and they actually, then they use him to set him free. So I see why they did it, but geez, this is a kid's book. That's what I'm saying. You're definitely getting darker as the series go. And also with that said, Draco Malfoy is 100% responsible for that bird thing's death. And therefore, because he was taunting and saying stupid bird and whatever, and then he's he's just a spoiled brat. I am officially not on team Draco Malfoy redemption fanfic. I don't see it. I can't stand him. No, he's the worst.
I mean,
maybe his dad, but not him.
I'll have to read some of it before I can make any judgments, because sometimes characters are just so different on,
obviously they make him very different, but it's just I'm reading this and I'm just how could I ever want to have a redemption for this kid? He's such a spoiled brat.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of the first signs of becoming a serial killer, right? Wanting to harm animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Red flag. Yeah. So, okay, here it is.
What's your worst favorite part?
The fact
worst favorite.
The fact that my least favorite part was the fact that Peter Pettigrew, the rat, was the bad guy. I can't, like, it was so disappointing to me. I was like, I don't care about this person. Like, I think that was the issue, was like, okay, I get that, like, I mean, he was really playing the long con. Like, he disguised himself as a rat for like 12 years or something.
I'm sorry, but imagine, that's sinister to me. So it didn't disappoint me, because I'm just like, ew, imagine you're taking care of a man rat for 9 years, and he's in your family. I mean, and he's like watching your family, and you're watching you sleep, and he's getting pets. Like, it's creepy.
It is creepy.
Gross.
I mean, even Ron says that. He goes, "I let you sleep in my bed." Yeah,
so like,
weird.
Gross.
Okay,
I mean, how many of us change our clothes in front of our animals because they're just in the room? Like, ew.
So many. I know.
What a creep.
What a creep. Yeah. So I agree that he's a creep. Okay, the issue that I had was that it's like, it didn't feel like a grand unveiling to me, because we didn't know who he was. Oh. Do you see what I'm saying?
They should have put some little sprinkles throughout of this.
Something. I was like, yeah, because it was just kind of like, if we found out, that he was the one in disguise, and we already knew who he was and hadn't suspected him, I think that would have made it way more impactful. Whereas I'm just like, oh, it's this guy disguised as a rat. That's really weird.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate here, it might have felt, because we just came off of book 2 where Tom Riddle we find out about and we're learning about, and then it ends up being Snape. So it might have felt too much like that if she did that. Maybe. Like, oh, there's this guy who's in the group of your friends also, and mentions him a couple times. Oh, it's the friend. It's like, oh, it's always, I don't know.
Yeah. I wasn't invested, so it wasn't like that impactful to me, because I was just like, okay, fair. But yeah, I mean, that would be really creepy for sure. Like, so creepy. Yeah. Imagine. Ugh. So okay, so who are your favorite and least favorite characters in this book?
My favorite characters in this book were the Dementors.
Oh,
because I'm clearly demented. No, because they add that dark element that as an adult I love, and they're very interesting and creepy, and I liked it.
Yeah. Also,
gotta watch out for the Dementors.
I just have to say that, like, my husband is not out there chopping wood with a chainsaw, but someone else is. So now there's other more distant chainsaw noises in the background if you guys can hear them. So yeah,
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Yeah. Okay, so who's your favorite character?
No, wait, those were my favorite.
Oh, who's your least favorite character? Sorry.
Oh, Aunt Marge.
Yeah.
She takes the cake.
I mean,
couldn't stand her. I know she didn't last very long, but, like you say, like, sometimes the villains are there for a reason. She's just the worst, so.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It was hilarious, though, that he, like, blew her up like a balloon.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
Okay.
It's just always going to be the Dursleys are just my least favorite.
Yeah.
Every time they're in the book.
So
you go.
Okay.
What's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Professor Lupin, or I don't know how you're supposed to say his name. Yeah, I loved him. He was great. I didn't look up who played him in the movie, so I don't know. So I didn't picture anyone in particular.
I feel like they could have done better. I don't know. He's a little like, ugh, I don't know.
Well, what I pictured was great. Top tier.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he reminds you of like that teacher that you have when you're in school who just like really, really helps you to like thrive. You know what I mean? And just like sees you as like an individual person who you remember years and years later, Yeah. It's like, that's kind of like who he reminded me of. And I was like, what a cool teacher. Plus then he's like a werewolf. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Write fanfic about him.
Yeah, totally.
Let's
People
go.
probably have. We should probably look it up. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
sure.
And
dude, that dark arts job though. Whew,
yeah.
It's getting risky.
It's a high turnover.
3 down.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be next?
I know.
I did like that it wasn't him, but he was still involved in a way. So interesting.
Yeah, that was good. I was like, ooh, how does he know this guy? Is he evil too? But then it was like a good balance,
Yeah, that whole unveiling was super confusing. Maybe because I was listening to audio, but I was just like, wait, who and what and the huh and the what and the huh? It was crazy.
I think what helped me was like the Marauders map. And so I was like, it's like the 4 people who wrote the Marauders map or whatever. Yeah. So they're just all friends. And so that like kind of helped me.
I think it would have been better for you if as far as the unveiling if they had mentioned earlier somehow who was responsible for the map.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it wasn't so out of left field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to be invested in a character to care that they're evil. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't care that you're
even
evil.
if they went to the willow and saw like a carving of their names together, even if it's their Sado names, something to like get you going.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, who's your least favorite?
Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, that's no surprise there for sure. He's gross. He's disgusting.
Yeah, and
he lived with the family for 9 years.
I didn't like his character arc. Like everything about him, just not good. Yeah. So that he was my least favorite for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that this book warranted a ban?
Well, of course not. I think we can always agree to say that. However, if my parents made it through somehow, the first 2 books, scanning it for their ideologies, this would have instantly been thrown in the fire when they got to whatever, like 3rd chapter with divination and fortune telling.
Yeah,
that
100%.
was a huge no in our household.
Same.
So much so, like, we weren't allowed to have magic 8 balls.
Same.
I remember specifically, I was given this Tweety Bird, like, electronic diary and whatever year it was. And then while I asked my parents to open it, they found out it had one of the games was a fortune telling kind of like magic 8 ball thing. And she was like, "You can't have this." First of all, it was like one of those gifts. No hard feelings. But like, I didn't ask for it. But then when I got it, I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm excited to have an electronic diary." And then it instantly got taken away. And it's like, it was hurtful in that way. Like, and I even had to go with her to Circuit City to return it, you know?
Wow,
and it was just
what
like,
a blast from the past.
This was great.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, if you're gonna not give a kid something, just check it out before you give it to them and get their hopes up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't care about that part. I wanted to use it.
Yeah.
So,
Tweety Bird.
So we couldn't have any of that stuff.
I had a Tweety Bird backpack. I remember those days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I made a note on, I don't know if it was just just on my notes or on the Fable chat or what it was, but yeah, as soon as there was like any mention, of fortune telling, of crystal ball, no, it would have been out. Same thing. Magic 8 balls we weren't allowed to have in our house either. Yeah, anything to do with fortune telling. For some reason, like when we did go to Disneyland, we were allowed to go into the Haunted Mansion. I don't really. Yeah. So it was very picky and choosy for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too witchcraft adjacent, so it would have been for sure taken away in our house as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. It would have been a hard no, and that is as far as I think they would have made it if they would have stomached through like some spells, because they would have made it through the Dementors, creepy cat deaths temporarily, but fortune telling. And it's too bad. It's unfortunate because even at the end, Dumbledore's like, "Oh, wow, now it's made 2 fortune tellings that she's ever gotten right." Uh-huh. It's like funny. It's like making fun of her. Yeah. Like a lot of it was making fun of her. Like you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it. It's like, it's realizing that it's just a joke. Like, and it's not real. So.
Yeah.
But
it was like a little bit of like a possession moment. It almost seemed like, and true. So I don't know. See, that's what's weird is that in our household, the possession stuff was like almost taken too seriously. Like,
yeah, it was talked about all the time.
Almost like, it would have been like a point in Harry Potter's favor, like in the book's favor, that like, this is what, like a cautionary tale. Like, this is what could happen to you if you try to read a crystal ball, then obviously you will be possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's all over the place.
Yeah, Satanic Panic. It did a number. That's like we talked about.
Mm-hmm. So overall, how would you feel like the book made you feel? Like, how do you feel when you were reading it? How did you feel when you were done?
Stressed. I was just trying to keep up with the timelines. Like, what's happening? When Hermione is going to all these classes, everybody's acting like it's no big deal, but also a big deal. We find out it's because she's time traveling to get all these classes done. And if that's not us trying to read all these books at once, I don't know what is.
But, okay, that kind of time travel is confusing. It is. Okay. And so I'm sitting here thinking, like, no wonder she's going cuckoo because she's literally time traveling, like, every day just to, like, make it to all of her classes. Like, anyone would go insane. And then I started worrying, like, irrationally about, like, what that would do to the timeline. I'm like, oh, no. But she went back in time. Like, they're changing things. But then Dumbledore kind of explained that, too. Actually, there was a really good quote, I feel like, about time. That Dumbledore says. I'm going to have to, like, look it up when you're telling us about how it made you feel, because I feel like it was a really, really good quote that settled my mind, to put my mind at ease, because I tend to get a little bit, like, overthinky when it comes to time travel.
Yeah, I tried. I didn't think about it, but, like, just sitting here thinking about it now, I'm just like, dude, how would that even be possible? How many of hers would then exist? And then, like, how would she absorb the information if she's constantly, in which it just, you can't do it. You can't do it. So it added an element of chaos for me that made me I wasn't actually stressed, but it made me feel chaotic. So the whole book.
Here it is. I found it. So, about time. Dumbledore on time. Just in case you guys get stressed out about time travel because you've watched The Terminator too much, Okay, so he says, he's talking to Harry. Hasn't your experience with the Time Turner taught you anything, Harry? The consequences of our actions are always so complicated, so diverse, that predicting the future is a very difficult business indeed. Yeah. And I was like, interesting. It's kind of like that idea that, like, you can't really overthink what's happening in the present, always thinking about the future, because no matter what, like, you can't predict all the possible outcomes.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, that made me feel better. Thanks for that, Dumbledore.
Yeah. Butterfly
thumbs
effect.
up.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, exactly. Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, just to take us right back to that, to the millennial theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's good.
So it made you feel chaotic.
Wise words. Yeah.
Yeah.
How to make you feel, Liz?
I feel like it made me feel underwhelmed. That's interesting. It's like, it's interesting that it made you feel chaotic and it made me feel underwhelmed. It's like polar opposite, like, feelings, I feel like. Yeah. Yeah, I was just kind of like, it's almost like so much was happening, but nothing that was, like, really impacting me that much. Yeah. And so I was just kind of like, okay. Yeah. I was just kind of, like, accepting it, like, all right. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I felt. I still, just like the other books, I really, really liked, the Halloween and Christmas vibes, and, like, just that whole, like, stormy weather and the Christmas decorations and all that kind of stuff. And so I still really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. So it still made me feel cozy and nostalgic. But yeah, I just feel like I never got any, like, I don't know, the surges of dopamine hits that we, like, just crave as readers? Yeah. Like, I never really got that from it. So.
It was just fine.
It was just fine.
It was 3 stars. It was fine. It was a filler book to you?
Yeah, it kind of felt like a filler book to me.
Especially because nothing really happens with Voldemort. Like, nothing ever moves forward on that.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, the main villain. I'm just kind of like, I'm done dealing with the henchmen. Let's move on to the big guns.
You're just seeing one of his long games just didn't pan out. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's how it made me feel. Like I said, didn't love it, didn't hate it, just kind of felt very neutral about it.
Yeah, there you go.
But I will say that I am excited to read the next one. I really am. I'm hoping that things amp up a little bit, though. Because, because there's 7 books, so we're going into book 4. So, we'll see. We'll see how
Goblet of Fire is next.
I feel like they start getting a little bit, like, longer, a little bit more, I don't know, I've heard that they get a little bit more intense as they move on, so I'm just hoping that that's true, I'm
hoping we see more of Sirius. What is his name?
Sirius Black. Yeah.
Sirius Black? Severus? Yeah. Sirius? Severus Snape. Sirius Black.
No, Sirius Black and Severus Snape are 2 different people.
Oh my gosh.
Buckbeak. Sirius. He's a bird that you ride.
That you ride into the sunset. Sirius, Snape, Blackbird, Beak, Severus.
I hope we see them all again.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
But no, I agree. Sirius Black was a great character. I hope that we get more of him in the, future. I really, really liked, like I said, Lupin. I hope we see more of him in the future. I mean, we will probably, right? Because he's Harry's godfather. I mean, he seems important.
Yeah, Sirius, is his godfather.
Oh, yeah.
And that was nice at the end of the book. He made it so his uncle and aunt are fearful that this outlaw is going to come and get him. So
yeah, which was kind of funny. I liked that where he's like kind of like threatening, like he just
very witty.
broke out of prison, you know?
Yeah. Good luck.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of characters that I do hope we see it more of. And I think maybe that's what's going on right now, right? We're getting like introduced to all these characters and their backstories so that things will start coming together more.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I have to ask you a bonus question because this came up at the end of our read. Well, the idea came up at the end of the read, but it was been a way through. Whatever. What is your... Actually, no, this goes to Rucinda. She posed this question, like hypothetically, rhetorically. So this one's for you, Rue. What is your biggest fear the Boggart would present itself as to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about this in the Fable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought about that, and I thought that was really cool that part was included, because I can imagine being a kid and reading it and thinking, like, oh, my biggest fear, you know, isn't that bad because I can think of it in this comical way, and, like, making it easier, you know? But when you're a kid, your fears are, like, the dark, or a monster, or, you know, talking in front of the class, or something like that. So as an adult, that's definitely a lot harder to conceptualize because our fears are a lot different.
That was how I was struggling with that. That's why I wanted to pose the question, because I was like, oh, like, how can you be that? I don't know.
Well, okay, because I really thought about it. I did, because I stopped and paused after that section to think about it and comment in the Fable chat. And I think all of us were kind of just like, I don't know, we have to think about it, you know? But it's like, not to get dark or anything, but it's like, I feel like as an adult, like, lots of times your worst fears are like, I'm afraid I'm going to never amount to anything in my life, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm afraid that someone I'm really close to is going to die. Or, do you know what I mean? It's like, those are the fears I think that we have as adults. So I tried to kind of, like, simplify it and be like, what's something that I'm afraid of that, like, could be funny?
Yeah.
and I still kind of struggled with that, because I'm like, I don't really know. Know.
Well, then let's make it easy, because a lot of our fears as adults are conceptual and what ifs more so, because we're not really scared of boogeyman and stuff like we were maybe as a kid. I don't know. I wasn't scared of boogeyman, but so like, is there something like spiders or whatever that you'd be like,
that I would just really be afraid of?
Yeah.
See, okay, guys, it used to be aliens for me.
Okay.
Listen, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
you read enough alien romances?
No, I don't know what happened. It was like all of a sudden a switch just went off in my mind, because ever since I was a little kid and saw E.T., it's like I had this like love-hate relationship with aliens. It was like I loved E.T., I wanted E.T. to be my friend, but then I would also, like, have nightmares that, like, E.T. was coming to get me. It was, like, the weirdest thing. And then, you know, it's like Signs came out, and that, like, added fuel to the fire big time. I was extra afraid of aliens. But then, I don't know, I want to say maybe, like, 3 or 4 years ago, like, all of a sudden, it was, like, just, I'm not afraid of them anymore.
Yeah. Good for you, Liz.
So, you know, okay, fine. If we have to pick a monster.
I think 3 or 4 years ago, it sounds like, well, whatever. You were desensitized at this point about aliens.
Right.
You know, you're just like, okay, maybe they'll have a better planet than what's going on here, honestly.
Honestly, maybe that's what it was, because what was happening 3 or 4 years ago? The freaking, you know what? And so it's like, maybe I was like, well, aliens wouldn't be so bad. Take me away. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would say if I had to pick a monster... This is so weird. You have to pick a monster, too, if I'm having to pick a monster.
Okay, let's pick a monster.
Okay. If I had to pick a monster, it would be... I can't even remember his name, but he's, like, they made a movie about it. I, like, had this friend in college who was really afraid of him. He was, like, Slender Man, I think is what he was called.
Yeah, it was like those were, like, fanfics on Reddit or something back in the day. Yeah.
That was creepy.
Yeah, he's creepy, yeah.
Imagine seeing him in the woods.
Yeah, and he's almost like creepy. A demon that, like, tells people, like, to do bad things and stuff. Yeah.
But it's more so like, okay, here we go. He's alien adjacent.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Because he's very, like... long. It's like, it's the shape. It's like he's long and tall and slender. like lanky, like a creepy, skinny, humanoid-looking alien.
Yeah.
You know, but he like lurks in the shadows of the forest. Yeah, so I feel like for some reason he just like always really creeped me out, because generally I'm not really that freaked out by that kind of stuff either. It's like real life stuff is scarier.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to pick a monster, I would pick that monster, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like cryptides, you know, going down that route for monsters, they fascinate me. I'm not really, you know, me and my Mothman. Or my Timothy man. My Timothy man. So yeah, it's hard to think of like what monsters and that kind of thing would freak me out. Because I'm reading like some skinwalker stories right now, and they're fascinating. I don't want to, you know, I wouldn't want to come across one, but what would like really, you know, honestly, if there was a real life, I don't watch scary movies, so, you know, I'm a scaredy cat, even though I'm like, oh, nothing would be afraid of me. I mean, I wouldn't want to come across a Freddy Krueger in my dreams. Like, that'd be terrifying, and then you die in your dreams, so maybe that. We'll go with that. Freddy Krueger's the one with the bad face and the long
scary hands.
Swords, right? Yeah, that's pretty... I wouldn't want to come across Tim, so we'll say that. And what we could do to make it less scary is Liz and I would manifest Liz being there, and we'll just make fun of it. Because that's what we do about everything.
You know what I just thought of? Because I didn't even think about that second part of it, right? Like, how do you make it humorous so that... Okay, so Slender Man, he's like this tall, skinny, scary dude in the woods. Well, picture him as one of those, like, you know, the things that, like, blow in the wind outside of a car dealership?
Yes, exactly. Totally.
There you go.
Like, so scary, Slender Man.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's like, he can't even move because he's stuck in one place because the wind blower. Great. Yeah.
So there we go. We fixed it. Done. And then we just we roast him, you know? And me and Ashley are roasting him. It's all good.
There you go. We're good. We defeated the Boggart. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's great. I did think that was a really cool idea, though. So that's awesome. So let us know what monster. I'm actually curious. We'll put a question box up. Ooh, yeah. What monster you're most afraid of? Because I feel like our demographic is more of like the Freddy Krueger. I like him. Kind of demographic.
It's but his fit. Can you imagine? You get in the fingers in the holes that aren't supposed to go there.
I mean, you know, there's something for everyone.
His face is really holy. I can see through it. But I'm talking to the girl who loves the Fallout dude that is missing noses. That's all I think about is like, I don't want to accidentally stick my finger in that hole. Guys.
I don't accidentally want to stick my finger in that hole. That's the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what's his name? Ghoul from Fallout. Whatever. If you know, you know. I feel like, yeah, exactly. Like, not, you know, there's going to be some people who come out of the woodwork defending Freddy Krueger, and that's fine. Just let us know who your scariest monster would be.
Yep.
I want to know. We want to
let us know.
Okay, so, fun Harry Potter fact to wrap this up.
Let's go. What do you got?
Okay, so I have two because I feel like they were kind of simple, and one was a little bit like on the depressing side.
Yeah.
So I have like one lighthearted and one depressing, but the depressing one I thought was interesting, so I had to share it. Okay, so fun facts. The Dementors are actually based on J.K. Rowling's battle with depression.
Oh.
And to me, I thought that was really interesting because I could totally see that. And it's one of the things I love about reading fiction is how it can really help you process things like that. Yeah. Wow. So that was meaningful. Yeah. I mean, and I'm just getting these off the internet, so who knows how true they are. But if they are true, that's super interesting. And I could see it as being true because I know that a lot of us like really interpret fiction that in all of our different ways, you know, real life ways.
Wow.
Yeah. So the other fun fact that's a little bit more lighthearted that I thought was super interesting when I read it, again, I don't know how true it is because you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but if it's true, this would be super cool. If all of the Harry Potter books ever sold were placed end to end, they'd go around the equator over 16 times.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's a lot of books.
Wow.
It's our TBR.
Well, yeah.
It's just
same as our TBR.
Goes around the equator 16 times, yeah.
Oh, so many books, so little time.
I know. But yeah, so I felt like those were a couple fun Harry Potter facts for you today.
That's great.
But I think that about wraps up Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Woo! Book 3. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this little bonus episode on Friday here. Make sure before you go, like, follow, subscribe, all the things that you like to do for us and for you. And
leave us a review.
Subscribe. Yeah, leave it. Oh, yeah, you could do that. You can leave us a review on podcasting places that you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcast, you can leave a review.
Yeah, great.
5 stars all around. Thanks so much.
It just says 1 star, Liz should have gone in the trash.
Yeah.
Liz should have gone in the dumpster.
Terrible. No stars for her sentences.
Stars.
I would love to know, like, what people like to hear. Like, what's their favorite part about the episodes? Whether it be our Harry Potter episodes or our weekly episodes. Like, is it Smash or Pass? Is it our tangents? Is it when we give very detailed critical analysis? Just let us know. Let us know why you like to tune in, and I would love to hear that, whether in the review or if you ever feel like sending us a message. We love to read your guys' messages, and we appreciate the love so much. Over on Instagram and TikTok at Besties in the Books podcast as well. And you guys,
thanks, guys.
We will see you next Tuesday and next Friday for book number 4, Goblet of Fire. All right, bye.
Bye.